What up? How we doing? Is the stream working for you guys? I feel like I'm seeing on my side it looks like a loading screen. So I'm hoping on your side it looks like I'm streaming. But it is pretty early over here. It's currently 7:37 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. Now I'm gonna try something new, all right? I know that a lot of you guys be watching later at night because you guys are from America. So, I'm seeing a lot of viewers, they're popping in at like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. So here's what we're gonna do, all right? I'm gonna incrementally start streaming earlier, okay? So I usually stream 8:30. Today we're trying 7:30. Maybe next time we can try 7. And that goal is eventually I start streaming at 6 a.m. And that way I feel like I could probably stream for longer as well because I'm starting earlier. And yeah, I think it's just a win-win situation. It does require me to lock in. So I'm going to try to lock in and wake up early. But hey, you guys got to hold me accountable because if you guys don't hold me accountable, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. What up, PN? How we doing, bro? What's good? But yeah, I was actually pretty excited to get on the streams today, man, because I want to work on Ace, man. Every time I'm like awake, every waking second I have, I'm thinking of Ace. I'm like, how can I make it better? What functionality and UX can I increment into this app to make it better and the best possible app that is available? Because eventually I want to let you guys be able to use it. So yeah, I want to give you guys a nice polished product. I want to give you guys something that I would actually use myself, and that's the goal of this, right? Right now, the way that Duocode is built is that I use Conductor, which is a agentic developer environment, an IDE, I should say. And so the goal is that eventually I no longer need to use Conductor. I can just use Ace to build Ace. That is the goal. Like if we can get to that stage, then like, all right, we're good. We've made it, Because then the tool makes itself. Because I've always seen, what actually sold me about Conductor when I first got it was the creator of Conductor. He literally uses Conductor to build Conductor, which I thought was like the coolest thing ever. I think they even say it on there. Oh damn, they raised 22 mil. I'm curious how these guys actually make money because they're actually completely free. So yeah, I'm wondering, they raised 22 million. That's interesting. Anyway, but yeah, I use Conductor for anyone wondering what I use to build. Conductor is what I use. I think it's amazing. It's a really good tool. It's like in the middle of, being beginner friendly and advanced. I would say it's right in the middle. So it's like more intermediate. So I would say if you are a vibe coder who has no knowledge of code, but you've been vibe coding for a while, Conductor is like the sweet spot because it doesn't really show you code, but it gives you a little sprinkle of it so that you kind of understand, okay, this is what a GitHub merge is. This is what a pull and a push is. It shows you can even see in the screenshot lines of code, they're all hidden. And yeah, I really like it. You can run, look how many I was running yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 agentic instances I was running yesterday. Dude, 9 of them. I don't know how I managed that, but we made a lot of progress yesterday, so I'm curious to see how that goes. One of them is actually this little crumbing you see right here. So at the top, you can see you can go to your different projects. That's very new. You can go back. It's nice. Cool. Yeah, all right. Well, let's jump into it. Let me chuck some music on. What's good, Ramon? How we doing? How we doing, and how are you guys doing? You guys doing well? Anything new on your end? I put up a little poll. The great lock-in has commenced. Are you locked in? So, you know, be sure to hit that poll if you haven't already. And let's chuck some music on. Creator. Today's definitely a bit of a lock-in day for sure. You know that excitement when you're like working on this app and all you want to do is just work on the app? That's what I've got right now. And all I want to do is just build Ace. I think that's really loud. Turn it down a bit. I need to update my playlist. We listen to like the same 15 songs over and over again. Doing well. Finishing up a vibe-coded site in GHL. Good shit, bro. Nice. How long you been working on it for? Also, let me know if the music's a bit loud. Alright, so. Now I've noticed for some reason when I right click things or when I click on something and hit the delete button, nothing is being removed right now. Can we look into why? Alright, let's get all these agents running. Fix board edge animation resets. I think we went and implemented an open PR, so we haven't merged it yet. Let's go ahead and merge. This looks like it is good. Voice recording permissions. So we've had a huge issue with the voice recording. If I drag this in here, spacebar, add the voice recording. Yeah, nothing works. Currently, when I drag the voice recording into the whiteboard, nothing shows up. Let's get Opus on this one. Give it a chat summary. Extra high thinking. Look into what is going wrong here. We've had to troubleshoot the voice recording functionality so many times now. So look into why this might be not working. Few days vibe coding a website, man. It's never a short amount of work, I'll tell you that. Alright, we've merged this. Can probably archive this even. Simplify geocode settings panel. I wonder if Conductor has a light mode. Oh, they do. Oh, they do have a light mode. Oh. So this is what Conductor looks like in light mode. Geez, it's a bit not great, hey. Damn. Do they want to fix this? Why is this hurting my eyes? That is not nice to look at all. Jesus, they have not put any effort into the light mode, okay. Yeah, none of this makes a difference. Man, I wish I could get custom because dark mode is like, all right. Yo, what's the panel, Doobie, where you see your AI? What? How we doing, Neon? English would be great, please. Remove the simplified joy code settings. Okay, now let's go ahead and merge this. Fix live base resolution with unknown remote head. Okay, so we've got this here. I don't even know if this is needed. How we doing, Suraj? Ramon is saying, do you have a separate video that explains your current setup with Conductor? I'm old school, just copy pasting from Claude to GHL, lol. I do not have a video, but it's pretty self-explanatory, man. Like, you literally just download Conductor. You need to have Mac OS. So if you're on Windows, it's not gonna work. But you literally, you just go in and you figure it out. There's some tutorials that the creator of Conductor has made, but it's as simple as, you know, creating a project, and then underneath the project, these are all my agents. And so they all, I'm able to run multiple agents at the same time. So you can see I've got 9 different agents here, all, and I can use either ChatGPT or Claude. You just connect your subscription. And this lets you build multiple features at the same time, which greatly speeds up how much you can do in a session. Because usually the super beginner method is to just prompt AI, then wait for the response, then prompt AI, wait for response. But what you can do with this setup is you can prompt AI, and then while you're waiting for the next response, prompt the next AI. While you're waiting for that response, prompt the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And it just lets you, you know, continuously, I think you can have up to 20. Okay, so I do like the breadcrumbing. I don't like that it home boards. So but I think I might leave it for now. I think we can bin this. Actually, is that? So this is the new settings. We've got iteration defaults, max iteration 3, review strictness, direct mode. Convergence threshold. Technical git names, okay. Connected tools, yep. And then we've got, is my Claude design back? I need to check if I've got Claude design. Okay, and then with the settings, there should be options to, which one was settings simplifier? Here. with the settings, especially in the updates section, you can see it says failed here, and it says fix. There should be the option to press on that thing as if it were a button on that label, and it just tries to fix that issue, whether it be like trying again or whatever, restarting even. I think we need to have these options, because otherwise, how is a non-technical user going to be able to fix that? You know, they have no idea what they're looking at. They just want something that they can just press a button and it tries again. Runtime sync, is that like a pull request, etc. Hey, capturing the third. What's good, man? See, you got a new profile pic finally. About time. Started listening to my advice by the looks of it. What's new with you, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Are you still working with the mail? How's your AI journey going? Sorry, I was typing squared. How did you build the AI dashboard where you can see the AI working? This one, I just vibe coded it. So the whole concept of this is I'm trying to build a whiteboard environment where you can kind of just plug and play different AI tools and build more complex workflows. Match what you were trying to do when nothing showed up. Most likely a bug. Remove the insertion gate so the voice tile always creates a node. Shows the transcription unavailable message inside the panel where the user is about to press the record. If you actually meant dragging a recorded clip back to the board. A. When dragging onto the board, there should be a pop-up that shows, the permissions that it needs for voice recording. And I think I need to look up how to give my app Mac OS voice perms, inputs, outputs, Vibecoding. Also review the docs. Alright, let's get Opus 4.7 on this shit. Codex can't do it. Let's get Opus on this. Hey, Hobby Cesar, what's good, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Been a crazy 2 weeks, brother. Yeah, I'm doing that. I just came from Indonesia, bro. Just came from signing an MOU and 4 contracts worth 40K. Just got back last Monday and we're incorporating our tech company this week. Damn. That's a huge W, bro. Congrats, man. So happy for you. That's amazing. Is it like a agency-based work, or like, is it a service you're providing, or are you building apps, or what is it exactly? Oh, okay, cool. So it's like N8N and you can connect the AIs together? Exactly. Except it's going to be a bit more, I'm going to say it's going to be more focused towards AI, and it's going to be a lot more user-friendly than N8N. That's kind of the goal here. I feel like N8N, when I first joined, there was like a barrier to entry. I had to watch like a 1-hour tutorial and I still didn't know what I was doing fully. I want this tool to be something anyone with any sort of ability can come in and they literally are able to connect things and play around and have these complex systems set up for them. The reason why I was asking for Claude design is because I actually want to create a better onboarding phase, and I want to design it with Claude design, but I think I am out of my usage. Oh no, my usage reset. Let's go. All right, so we can use Claude design. All right, so let's go ahead onto Claude design. Let's go into ACE. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. So I think ACE copy has the, if I'm not mistaken, it has the, yep. Okay, so this is the home page that we designed, right? Cool. So I'm just trying to think how to design this onboarding. So let me just go ahead and go into Canva. Let's start a new kind of thing. We're on day 57. So the way that I look at this kind of working is the user wants to start a new board, right? Is it wise to get into full stack web development right now, considering the web development space looks flooded? Look, I think there's always going to be that feeling, right? You're always going to look in, no matter what you do, whatever you want to, tackle in life, it's always going to look flooded. It's always going to look saturated. That's because you're interested in that content, so it's all you see. You're in this bubble. Talk to my girlfriend, she has no idea what any of this is. Talk to any of my other friends, they're in construction, they're in accounting, they're in consulting. They understand AI is a thing, but their knowledge doesn't go as far as, prompting Claude to ask a question or prompting ChatGPT to ask a question. At the end of the day, you got to understand that 99% of people don't want to build their own thing. They just want to use whatever's available. So at the end of the day, even if you look at YouTube looks flooded, yet in the last 3 months, I've gone from 1,000 to 26,000 subscribers. It's because I think there's a level of consistency, right? If you look at podcasters, during COVID, there were 3 million people that started podcasts in 1 year. Can you believe that? 3 million people. But by the 3rd episode, only 10% of people actually got up to the 3rd episode. So that means 90% of people, 2.7 million people who created podcasts in COVID quit by the 3rd episode, okay? So it's a numbers game. By the 23rd episode, there was only 1% left. So if you made 23 podcast episodes, you would be in the top 1% of podcasters. Just purely by the amount of numbers that you put in and that consistency that you put in. And I see that in everything, right? If you stay, and if you obviously it might be a bit trending right now, but if you stay and you continue to work, then that number's going to get smaller and smaller, because you got to compare yourself not to the new people joining. You need to compare yourself to the people that have stuck around for as long as you. So the YouTubers that have been around for 10 years are in their own lane to the YouTubers like me who have just started, because they just know so much more. Same with Vibecoding. If you started 6 months ago, you'd be in a way better position now and today than someone starting out for the first time. So, things might look flooded, but it's always flooded at the bottom. The moment that you go up a little bit and you're actually consistent and you develop more into the space, you will find that there's less people there. But yeah, I'm trying to build my onboarding right now. So let's just go ahead and say onboarding. Like, how many people out there have done 100 podcast episodes? Think about that. Why is my corner radius thing not working? For some reason. Rounded corner. Oh, it is working. It's just not that visible. Okay, so I think we then have two options. These can be smaller. So this is going to be option 1, which is where the onboarding starts, right? So in here, it'll be like build new board is the trigger, okay? For this flow. And then from new board, it would go into build team. Or blank, start from scratch. I think this is going to be the flow for creating a board. What is your GitHub, Doobie Boobie? It is that exact username that you've just spelt out, I think. Let me have a look. I wonder if how many stars have I got? Yo, I got 144 stars on my usage limit reducer. Let's go. Let's go. I never got the point because I'm obviously new to Vibecoding and develop like all this stuff, right? GitHub, I've only just started learning about. Is 144 stars good? Would you say? That's like it's like all right. And also, like, what does a star do? Is it just like kind of like a like? Would it be equivalent to a like on Instagram? Is that what a star is? Does it like build your rep at all, or? But yeah, this is my GitHub Doobie Boobie. And yeah, I got 144 stars. That's kind of hype. Yeah, a like. Okay, so now from here, I think what could be cool is the user then gets the option, right, to pick team size. Pick team size. 3, 5, 7, and then I guess we can just start with 3, 5, 7. This would just let the user pick team size. scroll down functionality where once you pick the team size, the next thing unlocks. And then you can, pick what each role is. And the role is predefined by default, but the user can toggle custom. So if I were to pick, oh shit. Should probably just explain this rather than team size, individual roles. Build team, and then this would be like mission and goal, and then it would be, this would be like new board. And then this would be new board with agents on it configured. All right, this is the flow. I don't want it to get confused because of the color choice. So I'm just gonna change the color of this to white. I think that white is the least confronting of the colors. So now Claude Design, all I got to do is screenshot this user flow. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to paste it in, and I'll just be like, I want to improve the onboarding of the creation when it comes to a new project. So when it comes to a new project, the user decides between coding and brain work. I think we now change that to build team or start from scratch. And when a user selects on the build team functionality, they then move on deeper into the onboarding phase. Otherwise, if they say start from scratch, they just get sent to a blank board, per usual. Now, with the build team section, I want then it to go through this almost like a form that you're filling out, and the next thing doesn't unlock until you've answered the previous thing. So the first question should be pick team size, and there should be 3 different buttons they can choose from. You've got 3, 5, or 7 teams, right? And I think this could be shown as little colored dots representing ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Then once they've answered that question, the next thing unlocks, and they can kind of scroll down a little further, or it does it automatically for them, and it says individual roles. And then it basically has all agents lined up top to bottom. If they pick 3, it might be ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. And then we predefine their roles. So it could be Claude for research, ChatGPT to build, Gemini to review. As an example. Then the mission, then after they filled that out, or they press tick or accept or approve, we move into the mission and goal, where the user now defines what it is they are trying to achieve. We give very goal-oriented questions, and then this will help us determine and explain to the AI agents what it is that we're trying to achieve. And then once that's all answered, the new board with agents on it is configured, and it's neatly configured with all our functionality of the stages, flowing from one output to the next output, etc. All right, let's have Claude Design run that out. Yo, bro, stars are a favorite, so it goes viral and stays viral. You did good. Oh, thanks, bro. Makes sense. I've been doubting myself for months about whether to start, probably because I was allowing the noise to get to me. You just gotta start, man. Once you start, you will know more than watching content whether this is a good fit for you or not, you know? Like, I never think to watch content anymore to learn something. I always just try it out. Because I found that if you do it, at least for me, when I go out and I try it and then I learn and I do it, I'll know instantly whether or not this is for me or not. You know, all the content in the world won't tell you that. TS, that's madness, by the way. Please one push up for every one like. Beautiful logic, smart, you get the middleman money. Yes, sir. Based on strength, I would imagine. Yes, it will be based on strength. I just want to see it come out first. And then once I see how it all looks, I'll reorganize it so that, you know, we probably have Gemini for research, for example. And then we have Codex to build it. Claude can review it. That's kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Gemini to maybe even research and come up with the UI could work. What do you think is the fastest path to earn with AI? Agency or agents apps? And which one do you recommend for someone with good AI knowledge? I think agencies is probably the fastest and easiest method. Apps is like you're wearing a lot of hats. With agents, you can just get really good at one thing and sell that service. With apps, you need to get good at a bunch of different things. So it's definitely harder. But once you do get it right, it's more passive, right? Here we go. This is what I want. Build a team, start from scratch. Okay, nice. Looking good. It almost makes sense for the user to say the mission and goal first. Because once they think about that, they'll be able to answer the other questions better. The problem with Claude design is that all designs look so similar, especially the typography. You reckon? I'm really happy with how it's come out, to be honest. Like, look at that, dude. And the thing is, like, this is what the design first looked like, right? But then once I brought it onto my site, I've customized it so it looks different. We just use Claude design as the base, and then you come in and customize it. Like, this looks different to Claude design now, but you can see the similarities. You feel me? And I think it's all to do with prompting as well. Like, you just gotta go and prompt it properly. Okay, so this onboarding phase should connect seamlessly to the new project modal over home. And I think when the user clicks build a team, the very first question they should be asked is mission and goal. Because once they have mission and goal answered, and maybe they spend a couple extra minutes thinking about this step, they will be able to answer the rest of the questions more easily. Also, when it comes to picking the team size, I think it would be cool if we showed it more like a how it would look inside of the board. Here is an example screenshot. So it would be like, it would literally just be like this. We're almost showing like a miniature version of what it would look like on the actual board. Individual roles. Looks good. Yeah, I think the onboarding looks great. Nice. Let that run. The problem with Claude design is that all designs look so similar, especially the type. What I mean is that it defaults to orange, a specific font, etc. The thing with orange is that I don't mind it because our tool is kind of to do with Claude, so I didn't mind it. I actually told it to use orange. So yeah. Also, the font is kind of nice too. Are you using a skill or app for voice transcription, by the way? I'm using Whisper Flow, yeah. All right, while that's running, we don't have much running over here, so let me just recalibrate things. We want to ship in the installed app. Okay, I think we can merge this. Actually, before we merge, I should probably get a review. Fixed live base resolution with unknown remote head. This was regarding navigation simplification in the Duocode app. We'll leave that for later. This was to do with GitHub tasks and shared whiteboards. This got merged, right? did. Let me review one more time. I'm here again. What are the other projects that netted you almost half of your goal? Going to watch for a bit. Feel free to read the description, bro. It just kind of clarifies everything. My entire journey up until this point. Bro, did someone just finish to you talking, son? Bro, I don't know, man. I ignored that chat, not gonna lie. Fakir, how we going? Fixed live base resolution with unknown remote head. Improved brainstorm sticky and table editing. Let's have a look. I think we need a new update, to be honest. Okay. Is this to do with... the functionality of clicking on something and then deleting it, like, is not working anymore. I can't click on something and delete it. I used to be able to click on it and just hit the delete button on my keyboard. Now it doesn't work. No findings. All right, merge. Follow system appearance. I think, is this to do with this? I think we could probably, because we now have this functionality, on the top right hand side where it says dark and light, there should be an extra one called auto. That changes the appearance based on system. Hey, Dusty, what's good, man? Good to see you again. Tim, what's good? I'm up early, yes sir. The budget knocked some reality into ya. I'm feeling that, huh? Yeah, waking up early as per usual. I'm glad. I wanted to ask you, what was the proper name for construct? What we talked about yesterday. There are a lot of different constructs out there. Construct? You mean conductor? This, the tool that I'm using right here? Is that what you're talking about? Conductor? All right. Did the verified return of 502 nothing for me to act on? The board is flowing in, is in place. Okay, so it's fixed. It's gone ahead and fixed that. We can onboarding, build team, mission. What are you building? What does success look like? Okay. Compose your team. Yes, there we go. It looks way nicer like that. Okay. Cool. When composing the team, there is an overlap in the borders, so we need to make the buttons smaller. Send that through. What are you developing? I'm developing my own agentic coding environment. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 AI agent instances running right now. Is there an update available yet? Not quite. Okay. Just go ahead and finish that. This was regarding I want to focus on user flow. So this was everything around user flow. It says it's gone ahead and built it. Let me just review this. We've got this UX flow debate up here. Let's go ahead and read that. Is that Claude design? Yes, it is. I believe he's using Codex, but don't take that to heart. So I'm using multiple tools right now. I'm using Claude design to come up with UI and help with user flow. And then I'm using Codex to build it. So now I kind of need to package this in a way so that Codex only looks at the onboarding build and team. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate project. And then I'll rename this to onboarding. And now I can get Claude Design to delete everything except for the onboarding phase. Please remove everything except for the new project modal over home and the onboarding phase. Everything else has already been implemented and built, so I don't want to confuse the agent. I'm just going to send that. It should clean everything up for me. And then we're going to go ahead inside of here. So this is the flow that we've created, right? Regarding home project, click project. So we can probably continue from here. Giving it the handoff. What are you using to multi-agent in the meantime? I'm using Conductor. So Conductor, I can use both GPT 5.5 and Claude. And I've just got a bunch of these running at the moment. Waiting for, okay, here we go. Perfect. Nice. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and export. And this is actually what makes Claude Design so good, is this button right here, handoff to Claude Code. Because what you can actually do is you can hit this button and you can then go to download zip instead. Download the zip. Now I can just literally just come in here, paste the zip. We want to improve the user flow, specifically around the creation of new projects. So please implement this onboarding system. This should replace the new project modal, and I honestly think we should be merging the new project modal with. We want to improve the user flow, specifically around the creation of new projects. So please implement this onboarding system. I will say, if I could get a summary of this chat. I'm trying to think, because we're looking to change the onboarding system. And we've just changed the GitHub system as well. Damn, that used 59% of my Claude design usage, bro. That is insane. Just generating that onboarding phase. Holy shit. How much is it costing you to have GPT and Claude right now? I just have the max plan for both of them. And it's working fine. So it's about what, 400, 500 a month? I also have Gemini, like the mid-tier plan. Hold up, I need to think for a second here. Around the creation of new projects, so please implement this onboarding system. Now, I'm trying to think of the benefit. When you go to home, you click on your project, and then there's multiple boards inside of there. It's almost like you click on your business, and your business has multiple different boards. So if I was to click new project, you wouldn't really make it any one of these. We want to improve the user flow, specifically around okay, so let me actually improve this now. When users create a new project, we want it to be more around as if they're creating like a business. So we want the wording to feel more like that, like a new app. Because then it makes sense when they click on it and there's all these different boards, it's almost like they're all different employees. And so we kind of need to change the new project modal over home section and make it more simple, because the next stage when creating a new board inside of there is a bit more complex, where we run through the builder team and the onboarding and the start from scratch. So the very first step of creating a new project or a new business or app, we kind of need it to feel like this is where everything is going to live inside of, and it needs to be simple, come up with a name and honestly a description even, and it could be as easy as that. The name, I want you to consider how this should now look. Let's see how Claude Design goes with that. Because this now needs to change. So the handoff needs to change. That's wild. It destroys me to see so much get eaten by a single build input. I know, it's crazy, dude. Claude Design, I don't know how to, I feel like they've reduced the usage limit. I was able to design the entire app with one usage limit. Now I'm barely able to go through the onboarding. You know what I mean? Specifically around the creation of new projects and framing it more as this is where all your boards live inside of. So it's more kind of like a business, and the boards feel like employees. Here we go. Name your app. This is where your team lives. So it is an app. It is an app, right? Yes, it is. Is this your first app, or you made other apps? No, I have made other apps. Some more successful than others. Ore Miner I made, which was a crypto mining tool kind of trading tool which automated certain things, and that generated like $650,000 in trading volume. It hit like 4K MRR and also made us eligible for the Solana mobile airdrop, which was like $37,000. And then we also built Sway, which was a prediction markets Tinder-like app. Didn't do very well at all. We've tried to build a Malt board. We've built autonomous app factory, and now we're building this. I think this is good. So let's go ahead and hand off to Claude, send to Claude. Download zip. Review the onboarding handoff to understand the new changes and how we want to implement the new onboarding for creation of boards. All right, let that run. Let me get this on the review. Man, feels good live streaming this early in the morning. I feel like I gotta do it more often. Feel fresh, like it's a good feeling. I'm starting in Vibecoding. You have any advice for me? I already built 2 simple apps, but not launched them yet because no money for the core features right now. My advice would be to build something that you can afford, because how else are you going to sell it and make money from it? You know, if you don't actually monetize off of this, then it's just an expensive ass hobby. It's probably one of the most expensive hobbies, because AI tokens aren't cheap, man. Where are you at in the world? I'm in Sydney, Australia right now. It's currently 8:40 a.m. Where's everyone based? GitHub tasks and shared whiteboards. So when I go to ACE, there's no sidebar. Then I go here, there's a sidebar. Here, there's a sidebar. And I've got a bread trail here. So we could probably remove some things now. Simplify Joy Code settings panel. When I pressed the fix button, this is what happened. Open, then settings, check for content updates, or wait a minute, autopoll. The app will prompt you to restart when the new content is ready. Check for content updates. Mira, how we doing? Welcome back. USA, California, 3:40 p.m. currently. 6:40 p.m. Damn, it's crazy how vast the time zones are in America. In Australia, they're not that far apart. Like, I think Melbourne is like an hour difference. I just struggle a lot to come up with good ideas for apps. You know, I think of that as well. I also think that, you know, there's room to like look at it more strategically, you know? Think about, just because someone else has already built something doesn't mean you can't build that thing too. Yo, why is... Hold up, 1 second. Now my board won't even... I've just also realized now I can't even drag and move anything around. You got to think about, like, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. So if someone does something and they get a lot of success from it, that's a good indicator that you could probably hop on that thing as well. So don't always think like you have to come up with the new idea. Think about, how could I see what other apps are doing well? And there's tools out there to look at that as well, like Sensor Tower. You can look up any app on here and see what does well. Scan Master. You've got all these apps here. SA Contacts, JotNot, and then you can just click on one. Genius Scan Enterprise PDF. You literally click on this thing, it'll tell you, okay, it's making 30K a month. 5K downloads last month. It's a PDF scanner. Like, do you know how many PDF scanners have been made? Like, I might even be able to find the tweet. Look at this. I won't build this app because it already exists. Meanwhile, 15 plus PDF scanners are splitting $10 million a month. Stop overthinking and start shipping. Look at this. Look at all the different PDF scanners on here. And if you zoom in, you can see 400K a month, 5K a month, 5K, 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 200K, 10K, 30K, a mil, 500K, 30K, 100K, 60K, 500K, 6 million. So like, just don't overthink it, man. Just got to go out and build the thing. I think people get obsessed with building the thing. You need to think about, okay, how can I market this? You need to be obsessed with the marketing of the thing. Because if you don't market it, then it's not going to amount to anything at the end of the day. It just won't. Most people have never left the States. An 8-hour drive starting in California. You'll still be in California? No way. You can drive 8 hours and still be in California? Are you serious? Dude, how big is California? Map of America states. Where's California at? Dude, where is California? Am I tripping right now? Oh, there it is. Ah, so, okay, no, that makes sense. Because if you start here to here, that's 8 hours, yeah. Damn, Texas is actually a lot bigger than I thought it was. Damn, New York's all the way over here? Why do I think it would be like more in the center? Where's Washington? Washington's up here. Oh, what? So have you guys surely have nice beaches around here, right? Nebraska, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, North Dakota, South Dakota. Damn, you never really hear about Dakota that much, actually. Like, I feel like Montana, Dakota, you don't really hear about these states that much. Like, is anything even happening? Does anyone even live here? You could drive 12 hours in Texas and still be there. Washington isn't where the White House is. Where's the White House? Wait, what? Where's the White House? America. America. Lots of farmers. Are you using freelancer websites or are you building a SaaS? Why would I be using freelancer websites? I'm building a SaaS, of course. It's in District of Columbia, right above Virginia. Washington, D.C. Dude, I thought Washington, D.C. was inside of Washington. No way. I've been lied to. Now I'm starting to think I'm just an idiot. To be fair, geography has always been like one of my weakest what would you call it? Weakest links, I guess. Wait, if I went review changes and then I copied this, paste it here, copy this, paste it there, and then I just deleted this. Fix package runtime diagnostics actions. I'm gonna wait a second. America. That's my American accent right there. I feel like that's America. I live in America. I just know how to say America, I feel. America. Rolls off the tongue, man. Dude, I've been watching the have you guys seen Kevin Hart's new show on Netflix, Funny AF? Dude, that shit has been cracking me up, man. Highly recommended if you're into like watching like stand-up comedy, because you just get to, it's like such a good watch. You just watch like a bunch of different stand-up comedians all performing at the same time, and I actually love it. It's like so easy to just sit back and watch that content. Fix package runtime diagnostic actions. When I press the fix button, this is what happened. PR merged already. Okay, I think we can continue then. GitHub tasks and shared whiteboards. We might need to come back to that. Okay. We can probably get rid of this. Maybe. I've noticed the restarts, they come fewer and further between. How long has this prompt been going for now? At 13 minutes. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Go ahead and merge. Continue. Bro, I love it. It was so good, hey. Stick to vibe coding. Dude, yeah, Kevin Hart's Funny AF show was so good. I'm so annoyed that Usama didn't win, man. He was the funniest by far. I started building something just yesterday similar to Uptime Kuma, but I want it to also have a plugin for WordPress sites and such. Started yesterday, we will see how it goes. Good luck, Ninjatronics. Good luck on that venture, bro. Sounds complicated. I've never used Kuma personally. Okay, we've got this working now. Let me go ahead and review it. And let's actually get rid of some of this stuff. I feel like there's a lot of clutter on the board right now. So this has all been merged. Get rid of that. Show voice permissions. We need that for later. This one is regarding this works, so we can get rid of it. GitHub tasks and shared whiteboards. I mean, there's nowhere to really verify this fully yet, so have we merged it? Oh, we haven't even merged this yet. No way. Merge. Unless it's already merged. If it's already merged, I can just get rid of it. This is regarding okay, I'll let that stay. This is regarding I'll let that stay as well. Okay, get rid of this. We do have the auto mode here now. Rather than having the toggle between light, dark, and auto all available and visible, I think it should just be like you click the button, similar how it was prior, and then it goes to auto, and then you click it again, and then it goes to dark, and then you click it again and it goes to light. Like it just kind of filters through those three options. I don't think we need to have them all visible on the menu bar or header. On the header bar. So revert back to what it was previously and just add auto in between. What were your projects that you made most revenue? It would have been Ore Miner, which was a crypto trading bot. You can read the description where I go a bit more in depth on that sort of stuff. Would like to access data from other apps. allow. I built a website to break my routine and go on spontaneous adventures. Getting my first users right now. Congrats, bro. Wish you all the best of luck, man. There's nothing quite like getting your first group of users. Like, it's honestly the best feeling in the world. Restart. Dude, how are we already 49% through the Claude usage limit? I think they've reduced the usage again, guys. It feels like it's running a lot faster than... The act of deleting is still getting blocked somehow. There must be something overriding or blocking this functionality because it was working perfectly fine up until yesterday. Let's see if create a stage. Stages aren't showing either. Stages don't seem to be showing either with the border. I wonder if these could be related somehow, as we recently updated it so that stages got deleted but the layers stayed. Now stages aren't working, so I'm wondering if these two issues could be related somehow. Claude increased just last week following the SpaceX deal, double limit from the week before, so should be seeing more usage. I remember feeling like there was a bump, but I feel like it's gone back down again. Drake plus Claude in 2 days. Yo, I'm hype on that. I'm hype on that. Dude, that'd actually be a bit of a vibe. We like do a little session where we're listening to the new Drake album while Vibecoding. I think that could be a shout. I like that. Hey Suv, what's good? I just realized that was your comment. I built my entire SaaS on Opus 4.6 and never hit rate limits. Now I hit them all the time. Yeah, dude. They're dogging us with the rate limits, man. They're dogging us hard. So we got some issues here. Dead element. Redundant. Okay, cool. Kendrick will drop same day. Crazy. That would actually be crazy if that happened. I'm not gonna lie. That would actually be insane. I don't think he would though. Surely not. He ain't that salty, is he? He ain't that petty. Like, ain't no way, dude. If Kendrick dropped same day, that would actually blow my mind. I wonder if this is actually something to do with my board. Oh, I know what the problem is now. Okay, I figured it out. I just went inside of a new board. I just went inside of board 2 and everything seems to work fine. So I think there is something wrong with my main board. Ever since I added this weird header from context copy paste thing, I think my board has been corrupted or something is wrong because nothing moves and the elements, everything's kind of broken. So I think we need to look into why that happened and fix the bug so other users don't experience this freezing board experience that I have just experienced. What sort of marketing have you done for your projects? Guerrilla marketing, baboon marketing, a little bit of monkey marketing, a bit of all of it, you know, jungle marketing, some would say. Did they not increase daily usage? That's what I'm saying, dude. They said they increased daily usage last week, but you tell me, all right? I have been live streaming consistently for the last 2 weeks. I only ever get Claude to review code. That's all I've ever done. Today, I would say, is a lighter session than usual. All right, if we look at Codex's usage limit, we will see. Usually by the end of a session, I'll have like 30% left on Codex. Right now we have 79% remaining. So we've only done 20% of Codex, yet 52% of Claude is already used. Now I'm wondering, because they say that Claude Design has its own limit. But are they still connected? And does Claude Design use up that much of my session, man? Dude, Claude, what's going on, man? Claude's got had such a good thing going, and I feel like they're just ruining it. They got good products. They just need to give us more usage, dude. Like, I don't know. So then I'd probably go review again. Is this merged? It has been merged. I think we can cycle theme button through auto mode, restore, click to delete board selection, fix package runtime diagnostic actions, add auto theme option to top bar. All right, let's restart and see. I'm using Opus on extra high, which is the default, by the way. That's the default that they suggest. I'm tuning in all day Friday. You better be live streaming. All right, bet. I will. If Drake drops on Friday during my time, Australia time, I will for sure. Claude Design uses a lot more than coding. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that, hey. So we've got auto, dark, light, auto. Dark, light. Now, instead of saying dark and light, can we have a sun icon and a moon icon? And also, I notice when I go from auto to, and then I click it, it takes me to dark, but the board is light. And then once I press on dark, the board goes dark, and then it shows me the light button. And I don't know, I feel like that's a bit confusing. Like, don't show me what it can be if I click the button. Show me what it is in its current state. I think this one might be one of the few apps where I actually like light mode better. I found the likely root cause. The old paste as context path allowed a board to create a linked context frame pointing back to itself. That leaves a locked self-reference header frame, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and merge. While we're here, let's go ahead and test the voice memo. Still nothing pops up. Oh wait, it could be because we're on a shitty board. Let me try here. It does not let me press the record button, and there's no pop-up or anything for permissions. Okay, a pop-up for permissions has just popped up. It's saying update required. So can we please update the entire app? What is this app called? Ace? Yeah, the app is called Ace, and this is my agentic coding environment. This is the app that I'm trying to build for you guys and for myself. But it's basically an agentic coding environment where you can build out more complex systems with your AI subscriptions without, costing anything extra. Apart from the subscription that I charge, which will probably be like $15 a month. What does your Vercel deploy costs look like? I didn't realize commit plus deploying so much ran that up. I'm not using Vercel. This is a installed app. This is a local app. It doesn't use like a server or anything. It's connected to GitHub as the source of truth. So whenever it clocks that there is a new update on GitHub, it prompts me to restart the app to then bring in those new updates. Nice, it's working now. Let's go. Cool. I think it's an electron, if I said that right, where it's basically, there is a server that it checks to see if the server state and the local state are aligned. And if the server state has a new update, then it makes sure to restart the app so the app has a new update. That is, in my head, how I imagine it works. All right, I want to test this onboarding out. So as soon as the review is completed, we can go ahead and merge it and then test it out. let's see if stages works now. Yep, stages work. Oh, app is being reinstalled, I think, right now. Okay, this is all working. So has it been merged? Open PR. Let me just double check. Yeah, this is all merged. Okay. Okay, let me get this reviewed one last time because it's a big change. And then if we're good, I'll go ahead and merge it and then we can test it out. So I ran Andre Karpathy's auto researcher skill and it came up with a bunch of kind of points. Which I think are a good point, very important. So I think we can go ahead and kind of tackle these one by one. For example, debate, the chain forgets as it goes. Now stage 2 sees stage 1's output, stage 3 sees stage 2's output, stage 3 does not see stage 1. Your reviewer grades the builder's output against its own guess of the original ask. Currently, we have a linear kind of workflow. Stage 1, output goes to stage 2, output goes to stage 3. And this helps us create this workflow that kind of lets the first task happen. So the second task can build off the first task, and the third task can build off the second task, and create these more complicated agentic workflows. However, I have noticed that the chain forgets as it goes. Currently, we have set it up so that handoff is automatic. Currently, we've set it up so that the handoff function is automatically labeled when an agent gets connected by a stage. My opinion is that we should have the ability to then right click on that handoff label and switch it to review. And specifically the review agent has this functionality. Let me actually debate back. Do you think this is the best way to implement debate 5? Or should we just allow all agents to be able to see previous work as well? Be able to see previous work as well as a universal rule of the app. Let's see what it has to say. Yeah, so for those wondering, Andre Karpathy, he created this tool called Auto Researcher, which basically runs 100 experiments. And based off of your app, he originally built it as a tool to train local AI models, but you can actually tinker the skill a little bit. So it actually runs based on specific things like, improving my app UI experience, and it runs 100 experiments on that, or improving my app's UX experience. And so what I've gotten it to do is I've gotten it to run 100 experiments, breaking down my app and why things are built the way they are. And I wanted it to come back to me with debate points as to trying to debate with me why it isn't a good idea to have that. And this kind of helps me understand things that I didn't even consider. And so I've gone ahead, and debate 5 is interesting because a reviewer agent needs more context than just the previous output, right? Stage 2 sees stage 1's output. Stage 3 sees stage 2's output. Stage 3 does not see stage 1. That's a very good point. I didn't even consider that. So I've gone ahead and debated back. I would not pick either of your two options as is. The right move is closer to your idea but more automatic. Let context width be a property of the connection type, not something the user has to right click to discover. And always include one cheap thing by default, the original user prompt. Here is the reasoning. Is risky. Letting every agent always see every prior stage sounds simple, but it has two real problems. Noise compounds. By stage 5, an agent is reading the first draft, the bad first review, the revised draft. That's a good point. Cost is real but secondary. Token costs matter less than you might think with modern long context models, but they are not zero. So always pass everything feels generous but is actually sloppy. Why your right-click proposal is on the right track but not enough. Your instinct is correct. Different connections want different amounts of context. A reviewer naturally needs more than a builder. Tying context to connection type is a clean idea, but making the user manually right-click to upgrade has one bad failure mode. They forget they connect a reviewer agent with a default handoff line. Never right-click and silently get a worse review. They will not know why the output is mediocre. They will blame the model. The rule should be the connection type already tells the system what context it needs. The user does not have to think. Make context width a built-in property of each connection type with no manual step. Handoff sees the previous stage output plus the original user prompt, always. The original prompt is the cheapest, highest leverage thing to pass forward. It alone solves most of the reviewer grades against its own guess problem. Sees the original prompt, the full output being reviewed, and any prior reviews of the same content. Not all stages, just the relevant ones. Debate sees the original prompt and the position being challenged, does not need the rest. Context sees exactly what the user pointed at, surgical. Then on top of that, keep your right-click idea as an override for power users. The agent also needs stage 1 or give this agent the full history, but the default already do the right thing for 90% of the use case. But let's say you connect stage 1 to stage 2. Actually, yeah, I think that's a good point. Create a prompt for me to paste into an AI agent to build this out. Add guided board onboarding flow. Okay. I think we're good. Let's merge. Ooh, I hope this works, man. That was a big feature. 1.4 thousand lines of code. And so does not naturally read agent on D. You may want to drop in the contents of and directly at the top. The prompt deliberately scopes this to 1 PR. Okay. Smart context passing per connection type. All right, let's see if this works. Rather than asking before a user when a user drags in, rather than checking if we have this permission before a user drags in, can we just have it automatically check in the background? Again, I got this error and we've just reinstalled the app. So this is clearly just like a placeholder error that pops up even when things are downloaded. No matter what happens and things break, I think this just pops up. There we go, night mode, light mode, auto, night, light, auto. Okay, so we've handled that now. What else is here that I didn't agree with? The terminal wall. Debate 1, at the end of the day, if a user connects these tools, they don't have to pay for the API, which is what we're trying to avoid and what our advantage is, and they will have a smoother experience. And I can walk them through this process through a video on the onboarding, or if it's even possible, can the tool itself be able to do that? Are they able to prompt it from the Claude app? Rather than thinking of removing this entirely, think about how we can make it more user-friendly. And debate 2, chat versus board. I have thought about the best way to integrate these two components. The furthest I've gotten is, there is the workspace prompt at the bottom of the app. There's a little arrow which you can expand, and then it still makes it feel connected because you're seeing almost like a ChatGPT interface, but because of the glass morphism, you can kind of see the tinge of the agentic workflow behind it. Then you can minimize the chat and you're back to the board. This is my best attempt at trying to connect the chat with the board because I want users to feel like, at the end of the day, they can still just use the chat function after they built out the agentic workflow. How do you suggest going about this? Do you think this is a good method? Did you glaze over this when you were doing your review? Iteration versus real loops. Now inside one stage, write, review, refine, cycle work great. Up to 10 rounds, score threshold, plateau detection across stages. There is no loop. The data model defines a loop connector type. Nothing in the UI creates one. For keeping it iteration only, iteration covers 90% of make this better. Loops can run away and burn tokens. For adding real loops, the autonomous app factory needs them. Build the app, test it. If it fails, send it back to the builder is a loop, not iteration. Without loops, factories are one shot. My take, real loops are the difference between smart assistant and factory. Make the loop connector a first class canvas element with a visible safety cap. Debate 3, loops is definitely something I want to explore and get into. What is the best way to implement loops into our app without breaking anything? Should we implement it as a connector? Should we implement it as a element that you drag onto the board that agents connect to? Or should we make it more visual where we just get the agent to connect back to the agent at the end, almost like a loop? So there's a connector to the first output, then to the second output, then to the third output, and then the third output just connects back to the first output. Is that how we define a loop? We need to explore how a loop would fit in the app. You cannot save a workflow. Debate 4. When you say you cannot save a workflow, what do you mean exactly? Because each board is saved automatically. So you can exit a board and you can go back into the board and the workflow will just be there as you left it. So what do you mean by you cannot save a workflow? We have the ability to duplicate boards. We have the ability to copy paste elements from another board into the new board. So what does debate 4 mean fully? I don't get it. The different mental models for starting a workflow. Now 6 modes in chat, 5 templates in board, 6 presets in settings. A user has to learn 3 vocabularies for the same conceptual question. What kind of work am I about to do? Now, debate 6, we have just implemented a new onboarding flow for when a user creates a new board. I feel like this kind of tackles that question a little bit because there is an option for the user to build a team rather than start from scratch. And if the user clicks build a team, they can say what their goal is. They can pick how many agents they want on the team to build that goal, etc. Long modes is one of the 6 modes listed flat next to brainstorm and code review, yet recent commits invested heavily in it. For keeping it as a mode, modes are simple, 6 items in a row. For elevating it, it is, so if I was to right click here and I can pick the main agent, nice. What's this rename function? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Duplicate, Debate copy. Okay, weird. Oh shit. So we've got this weird duplicate section. Doesn't make any sense. Rename and duplicate, I think we remove. Delete is delete. Okay. Let me just fix that. Currently, when right-clicking on a connector label, there is a rename and a duplicate option. We should just remove those two features because it doesn't make any sense. Neither of those are necessary. Seven, the debate feature is buried among modes. For elevating it, it is your most differentiated feature. No other AI tool has two AIs that argue opposite sides until they agree. Treating it as equivalent to code review underplays it. My take, debate should be the front door first open. The prompt placeholder reads, what should we debate today? The differentiator should not be 2 clicks deep. Debate 7. The debate feature might feel buried among modes, but it is the default interaction when two agents connect together. So I don't think we are hiding it at all. Ace, the welcome overlays say welcome to Ace. The app is called Vibecoding. The board is the Ace board. Debate 8, we have fixed this. Please look into where else it says Vibecoding. I'm pretty sure we fixed this already. Everything should just be called Ace. For user prompt, run, stop. Debate 9 gets solved with debate 3, right? Debate 10 settings are hidden, but some of them are emotional. A gear icon, strictness and iteration count are personality settings. They belong on the canvas, not in a settings tab. Okay, that's fair. I like that. Debate 10, I agree. What is the best way we could implement this without breaking the app flow and the beauty of the canvas and the vibe we've already created? I cannot even read the text in your app. Everything is tiny, both on my 65-inch TV and my MacBook. How in the world can you read the text of the actual application surface? Are you talking about this or this? Is it this one? You can just zoom in. It's because everything's so far apart. Here, I'll show you. So if I go like this, and I just moved everything together, and then I double click, you can read that now, right? But that's a good point. Are you saying the text here is too small? Maybe we've got to bold it a little more. Do you think the latest synthesis, like this text, is too small? Still? John? Yeah? So maybe we gotta bold the text a little more. I'll fix that now. So I'll probably just, I think there's a header text and then there's like subtext and body text. So I'll just take a screenshot. In terms of visibility and readability of the text itself, the header text is fine, but I think we're lacking in terms of how small it is. Like the body and the subheader text is quite hard to read. So is there a way to maybe either bold it and make it a little bigger? I mean, it's fair. I think my eyesight is really good. I think we can make it more eligible for sure, especially like my audience. I've noticed there's a lot of 40, 50-year-olds in here. So, you know, I don't want them squinting their eyes trying to read the text on my app, you know? Is this hard to see, this app? I noticed when I open the app for the very first time and I click on a board, elements are still loading. And so it's in like this half loaded state and it's only for like a few seconds, but it feels unprofessional and cheap. And so I would almost prefer like a loading screen to pop up. So let me even get Claude Design to design that. I want to create a cute, neat, minimalistic loading screen that emphasizes the fun of the app when a new board is being created or someone is going back into a board and it is loading. I think it could be like this neat sketch pad with a pencil kind of drawing on it, and it could just be like this simple loop. And instead of the word loading, we could say drafting up or sketching up, or, you know, make it fun, interactive, different. I noticed when I open the app on the, yeah, okay, so we're gonna put the handoff here. Let's go ahead and merge this. Was a simple fix, so shouldn't need to review it. So if I drag voice in, okay. I press the OK button and nothing happens. Currently, I press the OK button and nothing happens. multicam, cam barcode, capture input. This is to do with the camera audio. Make sure to review the Apple docs on how to and see why it's not working. Interesting. Okay, I think we can get rid of this now. What up, Zinger Burger? It's my favorite. That's my favorite KFC meal. Feel free to read the description if you want to know the journey and get up to date. Yep. So this doesn't work right now. Look at ACE. What does the loading state look like? Whoa, that's cool. Loading. Yo, these are sick, dude. These are cool. Wow. Wow, I love these. I'm very impressed, actually. Inking, almost there. Drafting up. Sharpening the lines. Inking the word mark. Warming up the pencil. Drafting the layout. Pencil sketch is a wireframe. This one, I'm curious. Like, all right, guys, I want to do a poll. Which one do we think is better? Which loading screen is better? A, B, C, and D. Let me see if I can fit all in the screen. Which loading screen is better, guys? So you've got from left to right, A, B, C, D. I want to know, which one do you guys reckon is better? I'll let the poll run for 5 minutes. A, B, C, or D? I'm personally leaning towards B and D. B and D, I think, are better. In fact, I kind of want to see more options. I don't mind C. Looks like D is winning right now. I'm thinking maybe we D. Can we have more variations of D? I really like that one specifically, but I want to see it in different versions and outputs. Give me another 4 versions around that vibe. What's my usage on? We're close. Looks like everyone's vibing with D the most. Try and go a bit closer. You got A, B, C, and D. D looks cool. It's got the pencil. A feels like it rushes a little bit. C, I'm not really vibing. It's just shapes. I kind of like how the name kind of changes. Here it says sketching. Here it says sharpening the lines, inking the word mark. Like the word changes. So it could be kind of cool if the word changed while it was loading. Let's see how that goes. This is regarding the app UI is really neat. Was it designed by Claude Design 2? Yes, it was. It was designed by Claude Design, and then I went ahead and kind of made it my own. So, you can kind of come in here and see it looks different still. Switch these around. Ooh, why is that popped up? Oh, 50-50 on A and D, really? I don't love A, man. A is a bit lame. Like, look at how fast how quickly it speeds. Like, it doesn't feel like a good loading screen, you know what I mean? This one, not bad. This one is okay, I don't love it. But this one, look at it. Feels relaxing, I feel calm, like. just watching this, you know? Rip human designers. For real. You know, I didn't know what 07 meant until recently. My chat had to tell me what it meant. Apparently it's the salute emoji. I didn't know that. Hey, are you running a VPS? Yes, sir. Why? Why do you ask? They're all pretty decent. I think this one wins. I want to see some more variations of this one. So I've just gone ahead and prompted it. Let's see what it says. Yo, why does this keep popping up? So we've got a few findings here. The installed binary has all the right code, but it's ad hoc signed with hardened runtime and no entitlement. On macOS Sequoia, silently returns false in this exact configuration. TCC needs that entitlement when hardened runtime is on, but the binary isn't notarized. No, now why are the entitlements... Wasn't on the runner this time. Looks transient. Same workflow. Succeeded 7 minutes earlier. Rerunning. Enable. Okay. We'll wait a second. Damn, people like an A more? Really? No way. Okay, so we got some more designs right here. Ooh. Yo, this one's cool. Come on, guys. This one is cool. This one's sick. What do you guys think? I use Hostinger for VPS, if you're wondering. Dude, look at that. And then this one, it's okay. This one, not vibing. It's like crossing them out, I think. This one's kind of just a copy paste of this one, I feel. Dude, this is definitely my favorite by far. I think we need to maybe fix it up so it's, you know, circling around the right area. I don't like that it draws the Claude logo. E is by far my favorite. However, I noticed like the circling of the word is slightly off. Also, we're drawing an arrow and saying yours, but then yours has a tiny arrow on it as well. There shouldn't be a tiny arrow on yours. Also, you end up scribbling the Claude logo. I think it's only fair that we would scribble ChatGPT and Gemini logo as well. Do I need to explain to it what the ChatGPT logo is, or what about using a set of 3 or 5 and rotating them? Nah. I reckon rather than changing the actual loading screen, which isn't a bad idea, to be honest, I think sticking to one system, like one design, and then changing the words that appear. So let me prompt that actually. Also, can we change with each loop, the words actually change as well? And they can kind of be like funny as well. For example, slaying the dragon and completing side quest. The side quest. Completing side quests. Sharpening pencil. That. More of that vibe. What's my usage at? We're at 97. Far out, bruv. Might not even have enough usage left to fix it like that. What IDE are you using? I'm using Conductor. Okay, so add smart ACE context windows. I get another review on this. Please work. Please do this last thing for me. I think we've hit it. We're at 97%. Is 3% enough to get this done? Where's the loading screen so I can choose? So it's these four right here. So we're deciding, actually let me add, can I edit the poll? I can only end poll. You got option A. This is how it's going to work now. Option A is this column right here. Option B is this column. Option C is this row or column. And option D is this column. So, you know, which column is your favorite, basically? A, B, C, and D. I like how creative it's gotten, actually. Like, this is the cool part about Claude design that I love, is the creativeness. Like, I would have never even thought of any of these, and it's gone ahead and animated them. It's just, I love it. Come on, Claude. Do I need to pray to the Claude gods right now? 3%, man. What can you achieve with 3%? I know that I'm asking for a lot here, but with just 3%, please can you edit my final prompt? Please. Do you have a nervous tick, bro? And yeah, this option is the best. Do you think I have a nervous tick? I'm curious now. I don't think I have a nervous tick. Do you? Is there one that you've noticed while watching me? And could you please send the name of the IDE in chat? I don't understand English well. I'm from Russia myself. Yeah, sure. The IDE is called Conductor. Can we choose hybrid? I mean, you can, but the poll doesn't support it. Come on. Yes, I think it might be working. Come on. You got this. I believe in you. Maybe I should have gone like a lower model or something. I'm using Opus 4.7. I should have done Haiku, man. Shit. Yo, Skip. You didn't answer my question, bro. You said, do you have a nervous tick? And then left the chat. You're twitching your leg. That's why I asked you about the nervous tick. Oh. Nah, I just do that. I actually twitch my leg when I'm excited. It's almost like a dog wagging their tail. I'd say it's like equivalent. So when I'm like kind of having fun, I notice like my leg starts to twitch. I feel like it's an ethnic thing. You always see like ethnic people, they start like twitching their legs and stuff. I do it quite a lot actually. Okay, let's go. Drafting your board looks good. Looks good. Brewing some potions, aligning the stars, wrangling the agents, untangling the wires. Yep, love it. Caramelizing onions. 100% has been used. Please work. Please work. Dude, why is it looking like that? Okay, here we go. Aligning the stars. Oi! Yes! Yes! Alright. Now how? I need to delete shit. Can I delete everything except for E? Let's go ahead and duplicate. Unfortunately, I don't understand English well, and I still haven't found an AI for translating streams in real time, so I probably won't be able to answer your questions directly. That's all good, Skip. Just glad that you're here with us today, mate. I'm changing this to loading screen. Now, I should be able to delete. I feel like it doesn't let me delete things for some reason, and I don't like it, man. Let me delete, dude. I want to delete. Delete. The ability to not delete is honestly infuriating. It should let me export without anything, right? Focus only on loading screen E, annotated underline oval arrow sparkle. Ignore everything else but this loading screen. So now I should be able to go into here. And let's actually use Claude for this. Usually I would use Codex, but I'm feeling a little zesty now. I just want you to focus on implementing loading screen E, annotated underline oval arrow sparkle. Also look into fixing the GPT logo that it draws. It looks wrong. I've added an image of how the GPT logo looks, but we should do it in the sketch version that the vibe that we've kind of continued. Don't do it with the straight lines that the logo has, of course. And this loading screen should be implemented. Don't tell me you just got rid of my entire... Okay, cool. Be implemented whenever a board is being created and there's a loading screen involved. Things aren't fully loaded. And I think we should let the loading screen complete one entire loop. So let's say the app is fully loaded halfway through the loop. We should fully complete that loop before letting the user in. Like intentionally slowing down certain things. I don't know. Do you guys think that's bad? I should probably end the poll now. Do you guys think that's a bad idea? But I feel like actually intentionally slowing things down isn't always the worst thing in the world. The loading screen itself is quite fast, so all right, we can probably go back to get review. Yo, Ace would like to access the microphone. Okay, the right thing is popping up. Allow. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear my audio? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear my audio? Yes! I feel like the transcribing part is not working now. Okay, finally, it successfully asked for permission to connect to the mic. It has successfully recorded my voice, and then it successfully asked for the transcription permissions. However, we are now stuck in this weird phase where it's just stuck at 55% index and nothing is really being transcribed. Should happen faster than this. It's only 6 seconds of audio. It's been like 30 seconds. What's my Claude limit at? 96! I might need to hand this off. Oh no, I just lost the images I screenshotted. Damn it. How much does your Claude subscription cost? It's about $200 for the max plan. If I was to click out, if I was to close this, yeah. It's been like 60 seconds. It's been 5 minutes, I'll say. Otherwise it's gonna be like, wait for a bit longer. All right, we got that going. Voice notes is finally moving, people. We've been working on voice notes for freaking ages. It's probably been a week since we first implemented this tool and we're finally able to get it working. Let's go ahead and merge. Claude design is a token maxer, for real. For real. You ain't wrong. But look how clean this loading screen looks. Like, that is clean, slaying the dragon. It would be cool if it, instead of drawing the logo, it just drew like a little sketch of the whatever the word was. Completing side quests, brewing some potions. It's a bit of a vibe, I'm not gonna lie, the loading screen. I love it. Untangling the wires. Drafting your board, love it, amazing. You're right, the cost advantage of using existing subscriptions is genuinely valuable. I reached for the easy answer, just remove it. The real fix is to remove the terminal part, not the CLI part. The CLI tools are just node packages and the Electron shell can do everything the user is currently asked to do on their behalf. Detective node is installed. If not, bundle a runtime or guide them through one downloaded installer click. Spawn in a hidden process with a progress bar. The login flow already opens a browser for OAuth. App can run Gemini. User clicks on connect Claude button. Okay, cool. Debate 1. During the onboarding phase, users are requested to install certain functionalities and request certain approvals. However, we want to fix that so it is more user-friendly for non-technicals. My code design is locked out and I'm on Mac 20X plan being scammed by Claude. Dude, yeah, I think Claude design takes up a lot of compute. Improve board text readability. No findings. So we can go ahead and merge then. What's my codex plan on? We're at 70%, so we've got heaps of our codex plan left. This was regarding the smart context thing, okay. So new onboarding changed, so okay. We've just implemented a new smart context feature which lets stages and agents read outputs from prior stages based on their role. So I think in the onboarding phase, when setting up this, nothing changes in the front end, but in the back end, if we have a reviewer agent, for example, we want to include this smart context that we've just implemented. Is this merged already? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a quick glass of water. Give me 1 second. All right. Acknowledge since the PR is merged, the Eureka runtime will ship after publish. This is regarding Can I change the name? Okay. So that's the first one. Second one, chat versus board. I missed this. Yes, I glazed over it. The board view literally embeds chat view. Apologies for the stale critique. On your design, the expandable workspace prompt with glass morphism, letting the board show through is a strong pattern. It echoes raycast overlay. Notion/menu, the still see the board behind the prompt part does the heavy lifting. It tells the user the canvas is still there, you haven't left it. Word push it further. Make the two surfaces actively narrate each other, not just sit next to each other. When the user types in the prompt, pulse the agent on the board behind the glass that are about to be invoked. They see the workflow react to what they're typing. When the response comes back, briefly glow those agent nodes. The user understands without reading that those three agents just produce this. On a fresh, empty board, the chat is the default open state. User types a prompt, the app auto builds a small workflow on the canvas, runs it, shows the result. When they minimize, they see the canvas was assembled in the background. That's a magic moment. That is an incredibly amazing idea. Holy shit balls. How did I not think of that myself? Dude, that is so freaking smart. So freaking smart, man. Holy shit, that is the smartest thing ever. I love the idea of a user prompting in the chat on a fresh board, and they can basically prompt, you know, what they want, and the board just builds itself. Now it's worth noting the glass morphism on the expanded board is quite strong. It's like the lightest that you notice. In fact, you only really notice it when it's in dark mode. When it's in light mode, you don't really notice it at all. So kind of making sure the glass morphism is this tiniest bit more transparent for those glows to come through. But yeah, I basically want to implement the suggestions made in the above text. The ability to prompt in a fresh board in the chat. You can either prompt how you want the board to be designed, or you can just prompt what you want and the board autonomously connects the things together to build it. Based off of, you know, what would be the best setup to accomplish the user's goal. So if the user was like, you know, we've already got these presets, right? Where if the user wants a PRD, there's a certain setup. If the user wants X, there's a certain setup. If a user wants Y, there's a certain setup. So what we can do is with this pre-built knowledge that we have, we can actually implement it so that when it is a fresh canvas, a user can just prompt the chat and it goes out and builds it. But this should only really happen if it's a fresh canvas. If there's already stuff on the board, there's no reason for the chat to, you know, add additional things. The user has already added stuff. So we're not trying to overwrite what the user has already done. This should only be with fresh boards. Now it's worth noting when you create a new board and you start completely fresh, you still get this default setup of 3 agents connected to debate. I think we should remove that entirely. So it's just blank. That way, the user can prompt. And in order to promote the feature of, the user being able to prompt and the board changing, we should have some sort of notification or something that pops up on the screen. Maybe whenever it's a blank canvas, it's almost like something's been drawn on the canvas pointing at the workspace prompt saying, don't know what you want, just prompt your goal or something like that. And it's drawn on the canvas so it feels like an element that the user can just delete. Dar es Salaam. Yes, this is I think this is a city. So what happens in Conductor is every time you open a new workspace, it brings like a random city from the world and names the workspace that city, if that makes sense. It's like kind of fun. All right, let's see how that goes. So for now, we've run out of usage for our Claude. We got 2 hours till it resets. All models. So for the time being, I might just get, it already knew to use GPT 5.5. It's like it knew that Codex is out. That's great. I love that. Okay. Now let's get a review going here. Let's get a review going here. We can continue, get rid of this macOS transcription hang. It's being reviewed right now. Loading screen, not done, waiting on you. This took 15 minutes and we are out. So I'll probably get review going here. It's not a city though, it's like a hotel or riad name. Ah, interesting. Okay, so I guess it's not just cities that they do then. We could probably merge this, I think. I think it's already merged. This was regarding the simplicity. Let me just go to settings. If I pressed fix, by the way, I downloaded Whisper Flow and now I'm addicted. Bro, it's so good, right? I love it. Whisper flow is actually elite. No findings. Okay, let's go ahead and merge. Probably work on the next thing. Chat versus board, which we've done. Loops. Picking among your 3 options. Let me argue each option. Then say which I'd pick. Option A, loop as another connector. Cheap to build. The data type already exists. User draws an edge from C back to A and labels it loop. Problem, a connector implies one-shot flow. A loop has properties, max iterations, stop condition, that don't fit naturally on a line. You'd attach widgets to it and it gets visually noisy. Option B, loop as a dragged container element. A box that agents live inside. Box has properties. Runs up to 5 times, stops when reviewer says approved. Familiar with N8N, Zapier problem, heavier mental model, and a rectangle that special is less elegant on a freeform canvas. Option C, user draws a back edge, system detects the cycle and treats it as a loop. Cleanest gesture, but the loop's properties have nowhere natural to live. My pick, hybrid of B and C. The gesture is C, draw a cycle. The visual is closer to B, a soft tinted region wrap that cycled agents wraps the cycle agents concretely. User drags from agent C's output back to agent A's input. System detects the cycle and shows an inline confirmation. Looks like a loop. Run up to n times or stop when. On confirm, a soft lilac region matches the synthesis color in design.md appears around the cycled agents with a small label at the top. Loop max 5. Stop on approval review. The label is clickable to edit the cap and stopping condition. This gives you C's clean gesture but V's visual obviousness and an always visible safety cap. The stopping condition must be non-coder vocabulary, not predicate returns true, more like 3 picks. Until reviewer says, okay. Regarding debate 3, I've just realized my Claude, I can't even continue this because my Claude output, I need to wait. Oh, that's so annoying. God damn it. I should have gone Codex. Found 2 issues. Can't even push this change. What chat app is that? This app is Conductor. This app right here. Okay. See, now if I put this in, Claude isn't going to be able to do it. So I'll just leave it. That's just been merged. Let's go ahead and review. Currently, when starting a new board and there is one output block inside of it, it kind of makes sense that that output block is automatically starred. However, that function isn't there yet. I still have to go on and click it to star it, even though it doesn't make any difference because there's no other output blocks. I think it's still a nice little UX experience. When there's only one output block, it's automatically starred. This is for new and existing boards. So 3, I've got issues with debate 3. Let me just write this down so I don't forget, because Claude has run out of tokens. So debate 3, as well as loading screen E. Loading screen E. Chat this board, we did that. Debate 4, I miscommunicated, here's what I meant. You're right, that board's auto save persistence is fine. What's missing is structure only templates. When you duplicate a board today, you get the structure and all the chat history runs output. All the chat history runs outputs context that makes it a copy of a specific project, not a reusable workflow. These 3 things that don't exist today. Save structure alone. Spawn a fresh board from that workflow, empty of past runs. Small library of workflows you've made browsable from the home screen. If you build Tweet Factory today, tomorrow you can't click new board from Tweet Factory and get a clean canvas ready for fresh input. You can duplicate, but then you manually wipe the chat. The whole point of a factory is build once, invoke many times. That second half is what's missing. Ask is a small save as workflow action on a board and a new from workflow affordance when creating a new board. Okay. Debate 4 needs a bit of debating as well. Don't fully agree. So new onboarding flow. I searched that and could not find the builder team flow you described in the branch. No matching files or strings. 3 possibilities. Let's name something different in the code than in the UI. It's planned but not yet built. Send me the file path. Coexist alongside the 6 chat modes and the 5 board templates. You've added a 4th way to start, not replaced the others. The intent should be the new flow to eventually subsume them. Otherwise, the vocabulary problem grows, it doesn't shrink. Debate as default isn't in the code. I read the code. The fallback in is handoff for everything accept explicit debate or consensus edges. So when a user drags an arbitrary line between two agents, they get handoff today, not debate. Incorrect. If your design intent is debate, is the default the code does not match, that's a one-line fix. Isn't in there now. Counter argument before you change it. A non-coder dragging two agents together might not actually want them to argue every single time. They might want sequential work, which is what handoff gives them. So handoff as default, debate as the most prominent alternative on right click might actually be the best answer. The debate moment is then deliberate, not automatic. Worth making this call consciously rather than by accident. Debate. 8. Ace rename half done. Still user facing. Just chuck that straight in. Does loops solve autonomous? Partially. Loops solve autonomy of execution. The workflow keeps running without the user pressing run again. Okay, so 9. So this would be debate 9, synthesis. And then 10, settings on the canvas without ruining the vibe. The goal, pull patience and strictness out of the buried orchestrator tab without adding Chrome to the canvas. Options, rank from least intrusive to most. On select side rail, click an agent or connection, slim panel side setting from the right, showing that one element settings. When nothing is selected, no panel, the Figma canvas stays clean. On the soft pill on the agent, whenever you click away, on top bar drop down for board level defaults. In the top bar, per agent overrides, this adds 0 new Chrome to the always visible UI. Debate 10 as well needs debating. Single commit, I think we can do a quick review on this. Another review. All right, well, we can't really do anything now because our Claude usage is up. So on that note, I'm probably going to end the stream here. I did want to go for longer, but I'm literally stalemated right now. So I'm going to let these run and I'll probably dip here. I do plan to stream tomorrow. I usually don't stream Thursdays and Fridays, but I actually do want to try and stream Thursday and Friday this week as well, which will be the first time in like maybe even a month. But yeah, let's get back on the 5-day-a-week grind. Also worth noting, I am going to Melbourne next week, a little holiday that me and my girlfriend have planned for a little while now. I'm going to be in Melbourne for like an entire week, so probably no live streams, but I will be posting short forms every day and long forms twice a week. So hopefully that can help quench whatever desires you have to watch me on the live streams. You can't really work alongside the videos, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining today, guys. Thanks, Mark, Naras, Danielle, Jabbar. Thank you guys for joining. Skip. Thank you, John. I feel like we got a lot done today. Majul. I think hopefully you guys got a lot done as well. Zingerberger, Mira, Suv, the Operator Protocol, Splocketed. Thanks for joining, guys. Tim, Ninjatronics, Lock TV, Capturing the Third, Dusty. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.